Alright, YouTube. So, I looked on Reddit and somebody in JD Delay Snark found a video that's no longer on JD Delay's Facebook. He was saying if he backslid, everything would be alright in prison. He'd be perfectly fine, and how he wasn't a shot caller and shit like that. So basically, he's about to have his Wes Watson 2.0 moment, and he's basically done. Like, there's been other people who said when he goes back to prison, it's going to be all bad. But I've heard from other people throughout the West Coast and the west of the United States that have reach in many other states, southern states, western states, down south, east, and north of where I'm from, states in the southwest, that it's all bad no matter where he goes. There's no place, no prison he can go to anywhere in the United States and hide. He's made himself too public, and he's got public paperwork now. So no matter where he goes, somebody's going to find that paperwork, and they're going to find him. And everybody has cell phones hidden in prison, so we can stay there and try and fake it. And as soon as they find that fucking, they start thinking about him, and they call out and they look for that paperwork, and they find it. Either they find my video or they find paperwork on it. Like he's done. And all of a sudden, you know. And he relapsed onto meth, I think, because he posted a video about how he was going into outpatient treatment, but his eyes were the size of dinner plates with his sunglasses off, and he always wears his sunglasses on. So what else could he be on? I mean, it's either that or he's a drunk now. He's just traded one addiction for another, but he's on something, and it's affecting the way he acts. Like, nobody with the kind of baggage he has in their right mind would want to rep the support merch he's repping. And like, I'm not a Nazi. I don't like Nazis. And all I can say is I want them wiped off the earth myself. But apparently he was protected by them when he was in prison. And now it's all bad for him. It's all bad for him when he goes to either Oregon or other states because of what he said. And that's on him. I warned him in a post and a comment on his YouTube channel when on his Hasanabi canceling video that the farther you go down the far right rabbit hole, the faster it's going to resuck you into that lifestyle, and they're going to suck you in quick. And that the first person to shake your hand will be the first person to stab you in the back later. And he's learning that now, whether he wants to realize it or not. And he can continue to be a right wing culture vulture if he wants, but he's already down a dark path, and like he's got paperwork on him. So repping notorious biker clubs that have already been busted by the feds once and gotten a shitload of their leadership hemmed up and stuff, and the feds for the rest of their life. Like, they ain't gonna fuck around with nobody like that being a hang around or a support, especially a public one. What do you think they're gonna do to him? It's not gonna be funny. Um, and if he goes back to prison in Oregon, like if he really is Irish pride and he's really that high ranking, then they're gonna take him out immediately because he knows too many secrets and he's been putting too many of their secrets publicly, and that's a liability for them. That's a threat to their existence. But more than likely, like I said, he wasn't, and that's just as bad because he's claiming all this shit and getting tattoos like he was. They're gonna see that and start asking him questions, and when he has excuses and not hard answers, they're just gonna book him. Like, normally good dudes don't get in trouble, but people that impersonate gangs, dropouts, and gang members that become no good, they don't walk any yard. They might walk a minimum, but with as high profile as he is, and with as much as he's ran his mouth about that gang and other gangs in Oregon, and other people that he obviously knows nothing about what they did in Oregon, like, yeah, he's just straight up done. He's not even gonna walk at a minimum. Like, not D Ridge, not Columbia River, not Powder River. I think that one's out Baker City, not Lakeside. I think it's Lakeside or Lakeview or whatever down in Southern Oregon near the Cali border. Sheridan, not Sheridan, not well, they shut the one down outside Coos Bay. That one's gone, and they shut Mill Creek down, so he can't go to those two. I mean, he's mentally ill, so he can't go to any of the minimum camps like the work camps, especially if he's talking all the shit saying he's a high-ranking shot caller. That's going to immediately get him an STG foul with all those tattoos on him. Especially if he's a high-ranking shot caller, then he ain't going to no minimum. And on top of it, he definitely ain't going to work camp, and he ain't going outside like on outside work crew for firefighters or anything like that. He's too high profile. He's too high risk. So basically, he's going to be at one of the mediums, most likely, because the rule is you get taken off on three times wherever you're at. So whether it's if you're out east and you get taken off on three times, then you go out west. If you get taken on out west three times, which where they're going to send you as OSP, then they might try and send you to another personalities like Two Rivers on a non-active pod. And if you get taken off on even once there, they're going to send you to OSCI because that's where they normally send all the dropouts. Like there was this dropout SA, not an ex SA who was a dropout for paperwork on OSCI's yard when out there, and kept getting taken off on, and then finally he walked on yard when I was on yard, and the warden said the next person who takes off on inmate blah 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 is going to get shipped out immediately today, no ifs ands or buts, and people quit taking off on him. And he walked yard. He did whatever he wanted. A known rat, a known dropout, and a known rat walked yard, worked on weight pile, hung out with all sorts of people, traded commissary, and got along perfectly fine with everybody. Everybody was fucking with him. Like everybody, he was walking the dirt track. He was walking the track and field track for running and jogging. Like he was buying all sorts of commissary and stuff. He lived a perfect life after that because nobody wanted to fuck with him. If he was on any other yard in the United States, on the West Coast or the Southwest, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Washington, Idaho, he wouldn't be walking yard. He'd have got taken off on immediately, and he would not have made it off yard, especially in California. He wouldn't have made it off yard, plain and simple. Like, dude is really doing something stupid as fuck. Like, running his mouth all this while having paperwork, that kind of baggage on him. Like, I'm not going to talk about shit that happened in prison unless I can seriously get, like, people who know the people I'm talking about and story and can corroborate my stories. And I tried to get several people who have been to Oregon prison to come be interviewed on my YouTube channel to back up my claims, and none of them want to because they're just afraid that like JD DeLay and Johnny Mitchell are industry plants, and they're going to use their stories against them in court if they get in trouble. So I can't find anybody to do that. I wish I could because like everybody I've talked to, everybody has all said JD DeLay's a fake. Like every last one of them. So I don't know. Like Oregon is the most bitch-made prison system in the United States. Like it makes the West Coast look fucking soft as fuck. Like anybody can survive on Oregon Yard and make it out. Like you could get stabbed, but that's a last resort. Most people ain't gonna do that because they don't want to catch time. More than likely, you might get beat up a little bit, but I mean, even rapos, you can feel 100% safe as a rapo or a cho walking the hallways of any medium or maximum in Oregon prison, including friggin' like OSP and especially OSCI. Some of them like pay a little extra protection and get to work on weight pile and stuff like that. I've seen it with my own eyes. I lived the experience. I'm not a rapo or anything, but I lived the experience of being on weight pile and walking up to a piece of weight. I couldn't tell you what it is anymore. I haven't worked out in years. But he literally was sitting right next to it and like, oh, I'm using that. And I was like, okay. So I worked out for like a half an hour on different weight piles, and he was still sitting there doing the same thing to everybody else. He wasn't using it. So I got pissed and told my car, like, I want to take off on this dude. Like, you can't, he's protected. I'm like, what gangs are protecting him? Let me know. Tell me right now. And they're like, no, for your protection, we're not going to tell you anything. You're a youngster. You're only like 23. We're not going to put you in that position. And there's nothing you can do about it because gangs protect them, and that's it. And like, there was this one CP pornographer at D Ridge, and he's like, "Oh yeah, a specific gang, number two is what it is. Their letter is number two." And they said, "Oh, they were trying to extort me for protection." They're like, "Let me protect you for commissary." They were trying to extort protection out of him, like, and then he ended up getting shipped to a minimum instead of a medium, where he would have to at least get some sort of pushback for his crimes. But instead, he got to eat commissary and chill with people and chillax and stuff like that. He worked on the weight pile. It's disgusting. Like, you got full on shows working on the weight pile at Deer Ridge and Columbia River, and they're absolutely getting stronger and getting strong enough to where they could work you if they wanted to fight you. And nobody does anything. They don't take off on them. They don't do anything at all. They eat all the commissary. Some of them are so fucking bad. So you tell them to take a shower, or you tell them to like take out their trash or flush the toilet, they instantly run to the guard and tell on you, and then the guard tells you to leave them alone. Like, it's seriously friggin' ridiculous. It's annoying as fuck. Like, I can't say any more about that. I'm starting to get a little annoyed, but that's all I have to say, YouTube. I'll catch y'all later.